It's your fault. This is all because of you. Have you heard these sentences a lot of times in your life? When you were younger, and maybe now, even now as an adult? And who were those persons, or who was the person telling you this? Or was it you telling you in the mirror that it is your fault? It's all because of you. Hi, my name is Nora, if you didn't already know. First of all, I want to thank everybody who subscribed to my channel and that want to support me, to support people who need to hear my message. Thank you so much. Second of all, in this video of today, I'm going to give you strategies on how to get rid of that fault that you're keeping telling yourself it's your fault. Yeah? Let's start. Well, where did I come with this idea? I myself, I'm the oldest child in my family. I have 2 brothers and a sister under me, younger than me, however you would call that the best. And I always got the fault of everything. Everything, not only what I did, but what they did. Like my parents were like, it was an automatic sentence. Nora, it's your fault. Excuse me? What did I do? Like, you're the example. I was supposed to be the example, the mother, the father, the big sister, the big brother, the police officer, the teacher, the professor, the doctor, the translator, and I was everything in the family. The lawyer, never forget the lawyer. And actually, now I am a lawyer. But then I wasn't supposed to be the lawyer. I was just a child. My entire life, I heard that it was my fault. Everything that happened, everything that was going wrong in our lives, I got the blame for. I didn't actually agree with that, but I took it. And everything that happened, every mistake my siblings did, or something that didn't go so as we wanted it to go, I always thought, is it my fault? Did I do that? Could I have changed something so I could make the situation better? Are there things that I could had in my power? To be honest, to be very honest to you, I don't know what kind of blame faults you got from your home when you were young. I don't know what they told you. Destructive things they told you. That's what I mean with what they told you. You know, the things that were positive, good, that stimulated you to go and become the person that you are right now. Because everything that happens to you in my world happens because you have to go through them to become the person that you are right now. That's why you're watching me right now. Yes. And I want to tell you, when I was young and growing up, parents keep on telling me that I was to blame for even their own mistakes. It did something with me. And the most important thing that I realized when I was, I think, 20, was that my parents gave me the power of their own lives as a child. So I became actually the parent of my parents because of the responsibility that was put on my shoulders. I didn't realize that until my brother one day said to my father, I was sitting there and I was like 20, 21, and something happened again wrong, and I think I submitted a letter and it wasn't good for the government and blah blah, and something happened wrong and my dad was yelling at me and was like, yes, and it's all your fault and blah blah, and I never cried. because I never learned to cry in front of my parents. Since young, when I was young, I always learned to be strong. Don't cry. I'm also a war child, so I've seen a lot of extreme things in my life where crying wasn't part of it. You know, I always cried in my room, in my bed, when nobody could see me, nobody could hear me. So my father told me, it's your fault and it's you to blame and blah blah, and he was yelling at me and screaming at me, and it was all my fault because the world was going down. My brother, 2 years younger, came in the room and he said he heard my father yelling at me. He said, "Daddy," and I was crying like a baby for the first time. Father said, "Why are you crying? Are you weak or something?" My brother came into the room and he said, "Daddy, stop yelling at her and let her cry." The first thing he said, "She's a girl. She's allowed to cry." I didn't agree with that, but I didn't say anything. I was crying. I was busy crying. And then he continued, my baby brother, telling my father, "Daddy, her entire life you gave the blame and responsibility to her and everything of responsibility on her. She had the entire responsibility about everything in our lives. Do you know what you did, Daddy? You made her your father and mother." And he gave a very, very amazing example. And I was like, and I and my brother always were fighting, because like we were brother and sister, and we were always, and we didn't like really see eye to eye. We were best friends, but also the biggest enemies. So when he was coming strong and defending me in front of my father, because I was the strongest in the family, what they saw, I wasn't, but what they pretended me to be, they wanted me to make me the strongest person in the family. I was the person that had the end word, you know. So when he said, "Daddy, when a king gives all his responsibilities to the maid, to the person who is working for them, one day that maid will kick the king from the throne and he will sit on it. That's what you're doing to your daughter," he said to me, to my father. And I was listening. I was like in shock. I was crying and in shock, and I was like, what is this? What is happening right here, right now, you know? And I still didn't realize. I knew it wasn't my place to be. I knew I was a child. I knew I was a child of my parents. I was the big sister of my siblings, and I was a person myself. But I never could give it the feeling that I was to blame for everything that happened in my life and their lives. I couldn't let it go until I went to neuro-linguistic programming, when I became an NLP coach. And later, when I did international courses, I went to London and Frankfurt, Germany. I realized I had to give this blame, the fault, a place. And I'm going to tell you how you can do that, because it helped me. I started to write letters. First of all, I started to write letters. The first, before writing letters, is to recognize that it's not you to blame. It's not your fault how the life of your parents is going, or the life of your siblings. You can feel responsible because you're older, or the youngest, or the most smartest, or the person that has more money, but it's not your responsibility. Every person, when they're older than 16, they're responsible for their own actions. Even not legally responsible, but they are. Because from 16 and forward, you're actually in this world old enough to make your own choices. Believe me, my siblings never listened to me. Believe me, they made their own choices. Believe me, they never felt responsible for my feelings or for my issues or for my problems. They always were feeling responsible for their own issues and problems, and then they blame me that I didn't help them or did help them and it went wrong. So you cannot change anybody's life, only yours. And you cannot change what they're saying, but you can change yourself. By taking the blame and responsibility, and you think, you know, I'm responsible for my own life and everybody else is responsible for their own lives. By writing, first acknowledging that something that was your parents or your big sister, brother, uncles, aunts, or grandpa and grandma put on you is not yours. That's the first thing that you have to do. It's not yours. Give it away. Give it away by writing them a letter. Tell them. Write in the letter, dear, or by name, or how you call the person that you want to give back to. Write them the letter by telling them, thank you for being in my life. If it was good or negative, thank them because they were a part of your life for making you the amazing person that you are right now. So thank them, but tell them also, thank you for being in my life, but I'm giving this responsibility, the blame, the feeling, the anger back to you because it's not mine. It was yours. My entire life, I carried it with me, but it's not mine, it's yours. You are allowed to cry a lot when you're writing this letter because it's going to be very emotional. It's going to be very personal. You don't have to send this letter. You can just ritually burn it, throw it away, cut it, do whatever you want with it, only if you really can let it go. And you're writing this letter so you can let it go. Do this for you. Thank you for watching. The next video you will see on Friday, because I decided to do videos on Wednesday and Friday, so I don't want the videos to be very long. So that's why short videos in twice a week. So I will continue maybe on this or a new subject, you never know, on Friday. So thank you for watching again. And if you didn't subscribe, please, the button below, subscribe is the red button. It's free and you will help me and help others who really need to hear my message. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, bye.